I wonder if they can... Oh. Hi, everyone. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And I was wondering if you could hear the frogs in Amber's pod.
Yeah, I don't think they came up, like, I couldn't hear them last time, and I didn't even, like, edit out the background noise in that episode, because there was no ambient sound that I could hear in the recording, so I was like... I am not going to take the 3 minutes that it takes to do this. And I still couldn't hear the frogs.
I feel like we're going to be, or at least I will be mentioning the frogs a lot this season. So
I guess I've gotten used to them. I don't notice them as much.
I love them. They're so awesome.
Oh, I love them. Yeah. I actually went looking for them, looking to see... Corey had found one that was like nestled down.
I found one in your pond last year. Yeah.
Yeah. He just did like a couple weeks ago when we were doing yard work. So I thought, I'll go see if I can find a frog, but I couldn't.
Oh, they were hiding. So today we're going to be discussing some cryptids and tales and ghost stories on the Appalachian. Am I saying it right? Appalachian areas and the trail and things like that.
Yeah. So I confused myself with like, which one is the right pronunciation? Is it Appalachian? Right? Appalachian.
So I'm really excited for this episode because, one, I suggested it because, like, you hear the Appalachian Trail or you hear Appalachia, whatever the fuck. I'm sorry, there's so many ways to pronounce it, but you hear it, and my first thought is, there's some motherfucking monsters out there. There's some motherfucking monsters out there.
That is not my first thought.
Oh, it's not?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. And I don't just mean cryptids.
No. My first thought is, like... I mean, it literally is the longest walking trail in the world.
Oh, yeah. My sister's ex-husband went to walk the Appalachian Trail. He got halfway, and then he was like, the other hikers are being mean to me, so I went home.
That is my Uncle Steve's final resting place. He and Glenn are scattered on the Appalachian Trail. So Corey and I plan to hike it one day. Yep. And Yeah,
that's cool. I have no...
He wants to do the whole thing. I don't.
I have no desire.
I just want the connection to my uncles. I just want to be near Steve and Glenn again.
It's scary to me, so I have no desire.
Maybe their ghosts are in the woods.
Oh my God!
That would be cool. I would love to see Steve again.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is this tale that Amber and I both looked up, and it's called the Moon-Eyed People. Now, I have my theories on this. I'm sure Amber also has her theories on this.
The Moon-Eyed People is cool.
It is cool. So basically, this is a Native American legend, right? Cherokee, right?
The Cherokee people.
Mm-hmm. So there were like these people. What was it, like a tribe or a family or something? And they lived in like a cave.
I would say like a tribe. It seemed like actual dwellers, not like a family of people, but like a tribe of people that like built this wall and were living in the caves.
Yeah, like straight up. But they didn't look Native American-y. They had like blue eyes, big blue eyes.
Ish. The first mention of the big blue eyes and the blonde hair is after an European person got the story from a Cherokee person and wrote it down. So that is just one of the things I read about it. Because, like, this is one of those stories that there's so much different
Well, there's a lot.
I read, like, a bunch of different versions
all of these stories have multiple versions, and all of the stories also have, like, modern takes as well. Like, the Catawampus cat, which we'll talk about in a minute. Like, it wasn't even called that until, like, 1964 or something.
Well, Catawampus came first. Wampus cat came later because
the Wampus cat. Yeah, because
it's a bastardization of Catawampus, which was kind of a catch-all term. But we'll get to that later.
Get to that.
But, like, it's just one thing that I read when I was looking into the Moon-Eyed People was that... they weren't especially described as being like pale skinned or blonde haired.
They were
or
vampires.
Even blue eyed until a European guy got involved. So there is conjecture that guy put those details in where they didn't belong.
Well, the reason why they were called the Moon-Eyed People is because they came out during the night.
They came out at night because they couldn't see very well during the day. And
Could they not see very well during the day, or were they vampires? Because like I didn't even put that into play until we were having this conversation, and I'm like, holy shit, it's the fucking Cullens.
Like, I mean, it could be. I mean, I didn't think about that either. Like, I was thinking that they are a peoples that like evolved in caves to stay safe, and that they were moon-eyed and couldn't see very well in the daytime because they were living in caves, like away from sunlight, so their eyes were too sensitive. Mm-hmm. But there's no trace of them, so like vampires,
my thought is also like it could have been people who had a mutation, like albinoism.
Right, yeah, that was one thing that I read.
You know what I mean? Because that would explain the eyes. Right, the way they looked and the fact that they had to live in a cave. Right. So maybe they were a forgotten Native American tribe that had some sort of albinoism, and the only way they could really like... Go ahead.
No, you keep talking. My mouth is open so I don't forget my thought.
They had to live in the caves because they were sensitive to the sun. I like the vampire idea better.
But like before you ever mentioned vampires, one of the things I thought was, okay, so long before anybody ever discovered America, we discovered, like Vikings discovered Canada.
Yeah.
So... And there was a thought that possibly they were European settlers, but they were here before any of the other European settlers. And I wonder, are they like Vikings, or are they like something I didn't mention in the last tree episode where like obviously those trees survived the continent splitting up, right? So like, did they survive something like that? Where they came from, they
survive a natural disaster.
Right, exactly. And then they wound up living in caves underground. And so like they changed, right? But there's also like a South American tribe that apparently were like moon-eyed people as well. Not called moon-eyed, but they saw better at night. And so they predominantly did stuff at night. And it's like, did a faction of them somehow wind up on the eastern side of the United States?
Or is it a cave system? All fucking connected.
Like Bigfoot moved in the subterranean caves. If you didn't check it out, it's from the beginning of this season. Go check out our Bigfoot episode. I fixed the audio because it sucked at first, but but like the cave system, it totally could be. They could have come to where they were from. Maybe like a cave thing collapsed and they got cut off from their like regular peoples. Like there was an excursion.
Oh my
god, we solved it. Oh, moon-eyed people are solved. We got it.
Right, that's the title of this episode. Moon-eyed people. We solved it.
I love it.
I do love it. And also it's just like there are so many theories as to what it could be. Bitch, what if they're from the fucking center of the earth?
Oh,
the hollow earth.
That's why they can't handle the sun.
Yep.
They came up through the tunnels.
Yep.
Something blocked their way back, and they lived up in those caves until they drew too much attention to themselves, and the Cherokees were like, "Oh, them caves looking good."
The Cherokees were like, "What the fuck is that?" And then they like forced them to get the fuck out because what the fuck is that? Because they did not look
like regular.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they came from Hollow Earth. They were not like regular.
They were like these bitches ugly. Yeet.
Wow, Hera. But they were all like, no, we've got to stick around because eventually your government's going to fuck up and do nuclear war. We got to be here for that. And they were like, no, you got to go. We want to live in them caves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, DC listener.
We think we love you. I mean,
we do, actually. I've grown attached to our DC listener.
I've never seen a van outside my house. You're doing good at hiding.
I feel like he'd be laughing, and he's like, dude, whoever is actually listening in DC though, like if you're not
Patreon,
okay, no,
see what else we're saying.
If you're not part of the CIA or the FBI, why don't you comment and say I'm the DC listener? But you never do. But you never do you?
So that means you got to tweet at us and you got to hashtag it, witches talking. Damn it, witches made me do it.
Yeah, because I just feel like if you weren't one of those things, just wouldn't you be like,
I'm your DC listener. Hashtag witches made me
right,
do
I'm
it.
your DC listener. Just say that so we know. So we're not driven crazy. I gotta know.
Actually,
It's almost like, is it a private joke? Like, are we the butt of the joke? Like, these bitches don't. I'm the only DC listener.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It is. So the Moon Eyed people.
DC listener, I kind of want you to be in the CIA, but I'm torn on that. I want you to be in the CIA and listen to us because, like, that makes us fucking cool as shit.
Right, you'll have to listen to our Mothman episode.
Person listening to us, so become a patron, and then we'll know. But nobody has to. You can message us and be like, "I'm going to be your patron now on Patreon, but don't give me the shout out in the episode like you do, Victoria and Melissa. Hey, we got you early on."
Right. So
anyway, also you'll be supporting us.
right. So what do you think about the Moon-Eyed people? Do you think they were...
What do the classified documents that they
God
to know about say? I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Okay, first of all, that was Amber speaking, not Maddie. I am not associated with that.
DC listeners like, yes, Maddie threw Amber under the bus. It's a regular episode.
Do I do that every time
the government is brought up, yes. But it's okay, because like I've said in former episodes, I'm not afraid of our government, but the KGB, no. Nope, they scare the fuck out of me.
I don't know. There's somebody there's a family I'm afraid of in our government. You know, if you know, you know. I'm sure you know.
Oh my God.
I can't even say
Maddie,
the name.
like, she likes to wait till I have a full mouth of coffee and then say shit like that. I was like dying. I'm about to spray coffee everywhere.
Look, guys.
Oh God, I almost died.
We're laughing through the fear because literally...
Oh God. Hopefully they don't know who we're talking about. But the bottom line is, DC listener, I guess come at me, bro, because as long as you're not in the KGB, you don't scare me. I'm just saying.
So the next one is the Wampus Cat.
Yes.
Or the Catawampus, which
got me all Catawampus.
Which starts with the letter C. Just like...
Don't do it. Look. If I get suicided, they will think I did it myself. Nobody's going to question that.
Oh my God,
shit.
stop. I'm scared now. I was kidding. I was really kidding, you guys. Like, fuck.
It's fine. There's no way
My paranoia.
that they listen. There's no way. They're not cool enough.
They're like, Maddie, you're undiagnosed schizophrenic. Like, you need your medication, dude. They're not listening.
I'm so glad I hadn't just taken another sip of coffee. I'd be dying right now.
But anyway, so the Catawampus.
Catawampus.
Or the Wampus Cat. I actually, you know what? I believe in this thing. Absolutely.
Okay, absolutely. So let's cover the two different things, because we both read two different things, because you read about it being black and way bigger.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So why don't we? Because I also believe, but there's a whole thing to it. So let's talk about what the Wampus Cat is first off.
So the Wampus Cat is basically like a size different.
You want to tell about the one you read about?
Okay, so the one that I read about, it was only like 4 foot high. Okay, but it was like 9 foot long.
It was like way bigger than a regular cougar.
Bigger than a regular cougar, and it was black, and it has like 6 legs.
Okay,
and like it can like put the front legs up
like
fighting
arms. One thing that I read.
Oh my God!
It said like it had the 2 extra limbs were for fighting.
You say that, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, it's a centaur.
I was picturing literally
But we don't understand. But they didn't understand what a centaur.
I didn't even.
Or it's a tribe of centaurs, and it's not really a cat at all. It was wearing a cat's skin for clothing.
Or because it's in North America, the centaurs are part cat people. Check out that Stephen King movie. I'm pretty sure it's Stephen King. I loved that movie growing up. Cat people.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's got Leo from Charmed.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love Leo.
He's not nice in the movie, but I had a big crush on him.
But basically, it's aggressive, and it just kind of it makes this noise. Which, when I read that it makes this noise and its howl, it made me feel like it was very bobcat reminiscent. Mm-hmm. That's how I imagined it. Fuck a bobcat.
So I read that it was cougar-esque, but not bigger than a cougar. But same body type, golden color like a cougar. Uh-huh. Sometimes it had 4 legs, sometimes it had 6 legs. Mm-hmm. It always had green eyes, and sometimes it would have a mist coming around with it, all ghostly and shit, right? But also sometimes it's got a big ass spiky spiny tail, and it made me think of first off, it made me think of that dinosaur. I don't know what kind it is, but it's got the tail that's got the spike ball at the end. That was my first thought.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
But one of the things I wrote that I read about the Wampus cat is that it made all these different noises, and that some people saw it it was able to change into different animals or something. And also, the word catawampus, which is where wampus cat comes from, the word catawampus is a really old word that just kind of means one definition of the word catawampus, there's even an insurance commercial about it, about the way it's positioned on a corner of something being not a cat or an animal at all, but just an object being positioned on the corner of a thing. It's catawampus if it's not on there right. But also, it's just kind of to explain a random occurrence that they don't understand.
Okay.
And so I really think that the Wampus cat, quote unquote, is real, but not in either of the depictions that we just said, but in both of the depictions, perhaps, and many other things, because I think
it could be more than one thing.
Catawampus, they would say, it's a catawampus, but it was really a porcupine running through, or it was a cougar going through.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or it was a fucking bear going through. I like the centaur thing better.
Well, and I'm over here, I personally, it screams Fae energy to me, especially with the possibility of it having, a mist around it. Yeah. Kind of like a Kelpie, but not in that same realm of magical creature. Because
you say that, and I think Fenrir and what's Loki's deer child?
I know what you're talking about, though. I know
his name's out of my head, but yeah, the 8-legged reindeer and the wolf.
Yes, yes.
I think is it America's versions of Hercules and shit? These are the demigods.
That's interesting. That is
because
very interesting.
Appalachian people that they're predominantly Celtic in the first European settlers in the Appalachian area were from Ireland and Scotland and shit, right? Okay, so they already believe that they're descendants of fairies.
Yes.
So they automatically Fae energy, all about that shit, right? Also, they've got the Fomorians. They've got...
Right, the Fomorians.
Yeah, they've got all these different magical peoples.
Sorry, my hair is driving
you're
me
fine.
nuts.
No, you're good. They've got all these magical peoples that they're quote-unquote descendants of, right? So what's to say that their gods didn't come across the ocean with them in spirit and in physical form?
Well, I'm a big believer in you manifest.
Exactly, yes. That's what I'm thinking. And so, could the god Lu or could Caradwyn or could one of the, or Rhiannon, somebody from the Celtic pantheon come over and like inadvertently create a league of demigods in the Appalachians. And it's such thick forestry. It's protected land, most of it. They could, just like Bigfoot lives there, demigods could live there.
I could see that,
I really like the centaur thing, like 100%, but like cougars. But I'm also digging this idea of demigods. I really was thinking it's just like random animals that like, you see part of a cougar and you see part of a porcupine and now you've got a cat with a spiky tail, But I really like the centaur and demigod better.
I like the spiritual. I personally like the fae energy, like the fae.
Well, and it makes sense, because like the fae would have come over with the Celts.
Oh yeah. Well, and I believe there's fae everywhere. I think fae is, there's fae in every region specific for that region. So it makes sense to me that a fae in the Appalachian area would appear as like a big cat similar to like a bobcat.
Yep.
Because that's what's native. You know what I mean? So that's why like it just makes sense to me that it would be fae.
I'm digging this whole demigod thing. Like, I really am. I won't lie. Yeah, like it's, I really like, but I love all the stories, the different stories. And for anybody who's like, you're going to talk about the Wampus Cat and not talk about the story. Okay, so after, like, the most recent history recordings of the Wampus Cat it says that it's a Cherokee story where a young maiden there's a bunch of different versions of these stories too, just FYI. So
I know where you're going with this.
I'm going to tell a bare bones version. She wants to see like the ritual that the men do before they go hunting. She gets under a cougar skin to go spy on them. The shaman in charge of the ritual sees her and basically like the gods are angry. The cougar skin is her. Or rather, the cougar skin takes over her skin. Yeah. Like, she's not a dead cougar skin. Like, she is now a woman inside of a cougar skin.
Yeah. And she, like, is immortal, right?
Yeah, and she, like, all the wailing and stuff you hear is her, like, and all the destruction that she causes. It's her being pissed off that she's been removed from the world of the people.
That's so sad.
It's so sad.
It's actually really sad.
But, okay, so there's another version. Different Cherokee story, completely different. Didn't see when it was recorded, but it was very different from this one. It's there was an evil entity that is like basically like an evil cougar spirit force, and like the strongest brave has to go fight him. This energy, and he's gone for weeks and he comes back and he's like the husk of a man now because the demon thing has like, taken his sanity, I guess, is what you're supposed to get from it. Because like part of the story tells about him staring at her blankly or whatever. But because he's no longer able to like perform the functions of a husband, he is kind of dead in their society. And so like she's considered a widow and she is pissed off about it. Her name's Running Deer. His name is Standing Bear. So Running Deer, she's like, I'm going to get fucking revenge on this demon. And the shaman's like, you need this like special mask that's going to like, it's the cougar spirit mask or something, right? And he gives her this special stuff to put on her skin that will not only hide her from the demon's sight, but it'll mask the scent. Because it is a cat demon, so it's got amazing scent, right? Or a sense of smell. So, like, she stalks this thing for days or weeks, trying to catch up with it. She's living off of berries and the bark of the land, so eating hemlock bark and shit, right?
Right. Check out our previous episode.
Exactly. And she finally finds it, and when she gets as close as she can bear getting to it, she like strikes, and the thing turns around, and it's gonna be like, ah! And when it sees the cougar mask, like all of the energy, like the evil, malevolent energy of the creature is like mirrored back at itself and like basically defeats it.
Oh wow, like the Medusa.
Yeah. Oh like yeah, Medusa. Like Medusa. Yeah, I like that. And so now Running Deer goes back to her village as a hero or whatever, and they say the energy of the Wampus cat is her protecting her ancestral lands.
Wow.
Yeah. So like when you hear like yelling and stuff,
I like that one better than
I do,
the other
yeah,
one, 'cause
absolutely.
it's more empowering
It is
as
much more
opposed
empowering.
to being sad.
I mean, it's also sad though because she lost her husband.
Yeah, that does suck. Now Amber is really excited to talk about what is it?
Okay,
Dudley Town?
Dudley Town.
I don't know about this one. I didn't do any research on this one. Amber's telling the story to us all.
We looked up different Appalachian stories, right? Yes. Or Appalachian stories, and like we just kind of focused on the ones that we found the most interesting. And Moon-Eyed People, Catawampus are the ones that we both found really interesting. But I also read about Dudley Town, and I was like, this is kind of, it's going to lead into next week a little bit. So Dudley Town is not actually a town. It's part of a bigger town, like Caterwall or some bullshit. Like, I think it's in Massachusetts. And it was settled by a bunch of people named, like some peoples named Dudley who are so there's a rumor that it's cursed, okay? So they say that Dudley, the name Dudley is, they were cursed because somebody, I didn't write down any first names, so we're just gonna, A. Dudley was involved in trying to overthrow Henry VIII. So he was beheaded, and Henry VIII was like, I curse your whole fucking line to have bad fucking luck, right?
That explains Dudley from Harry Potter.
Henry VIII, I am gonna curse Dudley. But he's a dick, so yeah.
Yeah, he's a dick.
He is a dick.
35, yes, yeah, I had 37.
So, like, they said that Dudley Town's, like, cursed because of this and, like, whatever. But I guess, like, historically speaking, none of that's accurate. However, a bunch of weird-ass shit happened. It's now an abandoned town. It is in the dark entry forest. Or dark forest entry.
So how old is this town?
It's from, like, the original settlings.
So is there anything left of it?
Most of it's been vandalized because people suck.
People fucking suck.
Right. So the original families that settled in this town, like, a bunch of bad shit happened to them. Like, a bunch of people, like, went crazy. People went missing. Like, one of the families that started in a different town and then moved to Dudley Town, like, when Native Americans attacked the town, the Mr. Carter, Mrs. Carter, and their infant were killed, and then the 3 remaining children were taken to Canada. The daughters were sold for ransom, and then the son was raised in the tribe, and he actually married, I think was his name Aaron Carter? John Carter. I think Aaron Carter was the dad's name. Anyway, John Carter was the kid, and he actually grew up. He married a Native American girl from the tribe he was raised in. Wow. He came back down to, like, New York and was a journalist or something. But, like, in Dudley Town, a bunch of bad luck happens all over the place. So even though there's no actual curse from the whole Henry VIII thing, like, in less than 150 years, in, like, such a small space.
Are you sure there's no curse?
I mean, this is just, like, I'm totally down with believing there's a curse, but, like, according to this other thing I read, that, like, there, like, the Dudley that was killed and the Dudleys that, like, lived here are technically not actually related or something. So it was just something to explain all the bad, weird shit that happens there. Because, like, one of the so the land is since 1924, the land that encompasses what was called Dudley Town, which again wasn't a real town, it's just the name of this area of like Caterwall or Cornwall or whatever. It was mostly abandoned, and this guy, like, he moved there with his wife. Well, actually, he didn't move there. He was like a New York physician or lawyer. Anyway, he had like enough money to like build a summer home basically, and he built a summer home out in Dudleytown, and he and his wife would go like spend weekends there and shit like that. And I guess something happened where like his wife was there for and it like 3 days on her own. Oh my god,
that sucks.
And he comes back and she's all crazy.
Well, I'm not.
And here's why I wanted to not put it off until another episode. She's all crazy, and she's talking about how there's all these animals, these strange animals that came out of the woods. And it made me think of the Wampus cat or Catawampus.
Well, you know what that makes me think?
Crazy. What, she killed herself.
What did she eat?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Could she have eaten a psychedelic?
Well, one of the... Okay, so the first Dudley guy that founded this town, right? He went crazy, right? He also lived to be like
right. Is there something? I don't think there'd be something in the water.
No,
but
I think it's the land. Okay, so like this is where the Roanoke part comes in. Okay, so not only did this guy go crazy, this other guy went crazy, and he was like 100 years old. Or
there
something,
could be lead in the fucking land.
He was talking about strange animals coming out of the woods.
Weird.
This lady, like way the fuck later, the last person to kill herself there. She goes crazy while her husband's gone, and she's talking about strange animals coming out of the woods. And a lot of people think that, like, the land at Dudleytown is, like, dead land or open to portals, and that's why it made me think of American Horror Story Roanoke.
Yes, I could see that. Oh, my God. It's like a portal.
Oh, we have enough time to watch the whole season before we record next week. I'm watching the whole season.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, dude, we do. I love it.
The more I read about Dudleytown, the more I was like... Did they look at Dudleytown for the Roanoke plotline?
I could see that. I love me some American Horror Story.
I love me some American Horror Story too. And like I literally I almost came home from work today and was like, I'm gonna start watching Roanoke, you know? Get in the mood for the Appalachian episodes. Because like the shit that goes down at Dudleytown, like it could be lead in the water. Mm-hmm. It could be people eating whatever, but I think the original settlers that went to Dudleytown, they were far enough into, like, they might have been the originals, but they, like, we'd been here for, like, 20 years at this point or something. And, you know, like, it wasn't, actually don't know what year we came over, so I don't think it was back in 1492.
1492.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Yeah, like as soon as I said 1491, that ship.
I know. I was like so close, Amber. 1491. Columbus.
They were getting ready. But like, so I think this was, I guess, not the original settlers, but I don't know what year. Like, I think this was like the 1600s.
Well, I'm excited to talk about the Roanoke episode.
Fuck yeah, because
that'll be really fun.
It will be, because like I think that Dudleytown and Roanoke might be connected, like land wise as well, like not physically. But spiritually.
Oh my God. You guys got to listen to next week's episode.
Like I'm excited because the more I read on Dudleytown, the more the fuck Roanoke kept popping in my mind. I even like started looking up, like, is Roanoke in Appalachia? Like, and like I told you, like something said Roanoke was in Appalachia, but also it's an island. So like I have to look more into that because I don't understand.
Oh I don't.
But like the Dudleytown thing fucks with me because it's like, the strange animals, Wampus cat. I really think that the Wampus cat or the Catawampus or whatever you want to call it, I think that's the strange animals that came out of the woods and drove these people crazy. I think that there truly is some crazy ass energy there. I truly believe that the guy that bought Dudleytown, he's the guy whose wife killed herself there. He still lived there. He got remarried later. He built another property there. His other wife and he lived there for like ever with kids and stuff after that. But also, he made the land into like a private land trust for the Dark Forest entry because like the land area became named the Dark Forest entry.
That's creepy and it's fucking
exactly. Why would you name it that?
Right? Like, like,
so many people went crazy there and killed themselves there, and you're gonna name it that? Like, that's fucking weird.
What the fuck?
But also, you buy the land, you make it private. Nobody's supposed to be going on it. People went on it to vandalize it, but he bought it and he made it private land. What is he keeping? What does he not want you to know, guys? What does he not want you to know about Dudleytown? I truly think there's like a big thing there. Like, he knew, like,
and it was before,
you know what I'm trying to say?
My God,
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Hear you.
I really think that
I want to talk
connected.
Oh, I want to talk way more in depth about it in our next Roanoke episode.
I'm excited,
100%.
but like, I still think like it goes like the cattywampus, the catawampus or wampus cat and Dudleytown, like that is real. That is real. I believe it. I believe it. Like I do.
Well, that leads to that goes to show like what, or I don't even know what the fuck I was about to say, but my question is, are there places like that all over the United States, like in American Horror Story, where these things are portals? I mean, I absolutely believe it. Look, you can't tell me the fucking hotel in California ain't one.
Oh yeah, for fucking sure. You will never. You will. No, I know you do. Like, no, like, I'll go to all sorts of places. I'll go in the Amityville house.
That's fucked up.
You can't get me in that hotel.
Not the hotel, but you'll go in the Amityville house. I'm the opposite. At least the hotel is big and it's, like, less intimate. The Amityville house, you got nowhere to go.
The hotel has too much energy. Too much really bad, bad. So, like, there's a lot of ghost stories in Appalachia, which I guess maybe we should just do like a different episode on ghost stories in and of themselves.
We'll have to do part 2.
Yeah, because like there's so much Appalachian and there's more trees to cover, so we can do another 2 for
I'm totally down.
Maybe next summer. I don't know. We've
got, because
you know, stuff to get through because
a season. It's almost July.
We gotta remember what next. I know
July is around when I had my son last year, and July is the time we did our.
Well, I didn't know if we were gonna do it at the same time because like
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, because like. We gotta remember what we decided on.
Because we covered a lot of shit in this season.
Yeah, we
really did.
We really have.
Which I'm excited to talk about season 3 when we have that discussion, because like before we do 3, we should write it all out like we did last time, because we came at it hard with this season. We're talking about Appalachia. We had fucking werewolves, Bigfoot.
We brought you Trace Trees twice so far.
Right?
And we started off strong with the Witchwoods and then the ancient Appalachian trees.
I know.
Like, whew.
All right. Well, what do you guys think of these stories? Do you believe them? Do you think it's all a conspiracy? Where the fuck did the conspiracy? Oh, the Moon-Eyed people. Okay.
I was going to say, do you think it's all a bunch of hocus pocus? That's what I thought you were going to say.
What do you think about Dudleytown? Check us out.
What do you think about our new theme song?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God.
If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes. We are at 90 followers. We are 10 away from our goal of 100. Come on, y'all. Help us.
So close.
You can follow us on Twitter at Classiest Witches and Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot. We got you, Melissa and Victoria, earlier.
We did. But if you want a shout out with Melissa and Victoria or any of the extra bonus content where you get more of your favorite witches, you can find us on patreon.com/Witches Talking Tarot. Thanks for coming to send us a spell.
Yeah.
Bye.